Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. I am in a bit of a quandary today as to what exactly should be played and by whom. I mean, there's really only one person here in my closet, so that could be solved. But the what is still an issue. My stream name, of course, will still be Alan Wake 2, which, as a deceptive marketing tactic, will lure people inside. No, it's just that I'm too lazy to change it, and I haven't decided what we're playing yet, so I don't know what to change it to. I have my screen up, though you cannot see it. You can only see me in a very small purple box, ever changing. Now I'm pink. Here's my problem. The Elden Ring DLC comes out like next weekend at some point, next weekend, Saturday-ish. And obviously we will be playing that, or not so much playing as just dying over and over again in one specific section very near the beginning of the DLC. And so if we are to play something today, which I would like to, God, how I've missed you all, it would need to be something relatively short, so as to be today and tomorrow, and then we're on to Elden Ring DLC. And I just can't decide. And I've been sitting here trying to decide, and I decided to just go ahead and go live and bring you into my quagmire of indecision. But it's a bit awkward. It's a bit awkward for all of us. I understand that. But let me share my screen. Hello, hello. You have been missed. No, you! If I had that gif of like a cute little boxer dog sort of reversing and pointing at you, I would use it now. Let me turn on my thingy here, if this is coming through. Okay. And you'll see my embarrassing selection of games. Don't look at Pal World. Oh, it's too embarrassing. There's nothing wrong with some Pal World, let's be honest. This is what I've got. And in terms of short games that could be finished today and tomorrow, the choices are limited. Perhaps Last Stop, which is an Annapurna game, I believe, that I have not gotten around to yet, and I don't really know much about, but it could be short, I've heard. There is Tacoma, relatively short, maybe not 2 sessions worth. A Little to the Left could be broken up into small segments, and would also be just thrilling. Watch me organize my bag clips. I know that's what you like. I know that's your kink. Hindsight is another Annapurna, I believe, that is like 2 hours long, so if we did an hour today and an hour tomorrow, we could get that done. And I'm just completely lost in the forest of indecision. Donut County, I believe, again, an Annapurna that is quite short. So like the top 3 for getting it done today would be Donut County, Hindsight, and perhaps Last Stop. Are my thoughts. Does anyone have guidance for me? Could anyone put on like a director's cap? A Little to the Left is your vote. That is wonderfully cute and soothing. And there's a little kitty cat. A poor impression of the kitty cat, but you get the idea. So yes, we could absolutely do a little bit of that, and it would soothe us on the runway to Elden Ring, which is going to be quite stressful, I'm sure. If I'm remembering correctly, I made this coffee cup way too full to have also placed it that far away from me. I've got it. It's fine. I didn't spill it all over my fashionably torn jeans that I paid extra for. I'm kidding, of course. I'm not wearing pants. Alright, I'm gonna go a little to the left then. Let me fix the stream name. And thank you for guiding me. Thank you also for bearing with my 5 minutes of rambling indecisiveness. Edit das Streamens. My keyboard would only wake up. What a lovely little tune this is. I've decided to use no vowels. A-L-T-T-L to the left. Why is my keyboard being like this? Maybe it needs new batteries. To the left. There. And we'll fix the category. This is no longer a mature stream for mature adults. No, this will be deeply immature in tone. It's very insistent that I put a little. I've tried just searching little and it has not come up. There, a little to the left. And save. Save, I'm done. I agree with it. Hello. Welcome back. So, let me see if there's a way to erase my progress. Reset all level progress, sure, so that you can see it from the beginning. My achievements! They'll be fine. Who cares about achievements? Anyway. Oh god. I love that there's a setting called Wiggle Effect. I don't know what that does, but on with the wiggle effect. And hopefully the light tinkling of background music isn't completely overbearing on your end, as it is in my headphones currently. Let's see what we got here. It is so nice to see you guys. Welcome back. Chapter 1. Home. Sweet home. Paw prints on all of my graphs and charts. Hello, my love. Missed you. Soothing pets? Do you appreciate that? Or is your tail waving in pre-attack mode? Alright. Just gonna angle that. That's nice. That's nice and clean. Hello. Thank you for the subscription. And cheers to you. Let me grab my overfull cappuccino mug. Cheers. There, I've taken a big swig so it's more manageable. So this game, I don't know if I've finished it. It's been a little while since I played, but you arrange items in a manner that is quite soothing. You put all the items, say, in the basket, and they jangle around with one another as though they're at war, it seems. And then it gets progressively more complicated as it goes on, in a manner most enjoyable indeed. So we'll start off slow and see how she goes. Just for my own ear sanity, which I hear is a thing. To have very sanitary ears. Let's take this down just to like 70. 70% is fine. Ooh. Didn't honestly seem to make any difference. It's just very, very boisterous harp. Hopefully it will still be hearable, because it's a lovely ambiance. It is also just blasting me slightly in my drums. Alright, so we have little scuff marks that seem to relate, perhaps, to the colors. Let us follow them thence. Oh, that was a bad sound. Bad, scratchy sound. It is so satisfying. So I seem to remember it's like Some things are, in order of size. Some things are fit the shapes together like a jigsaw piece. Some of them have environmental clues to guide you towards the solution. And if I'm remembering right, some of them have multiple solutions along those lines as well. This is satisfying. This looks like an end piece, as does this. Boop, boop, boop. I love it. It scratches a very particular kind of itch in one's brain. A deep-seated desire for organization and the middle finger to chaos. Similar to our first level, we have multiple pictures. What a slender neck you have, madam, if it's not inappropriate of me to comment on. Also 2 heaving shells that you've got. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Oh ho! What did you call me? Hi. Oh ho hi. Nice to see you there. You absolutely love that the pieces, and I'm hovering so as to cover the rest, snap to a grid, and that ding of correctness, it is so satisfying. Like a little reward. What did you call me? I called you a hoe! Well, fair enough. I thought maybe I misheard you. This seems like the biggest one. Seems like second in line to the throne. We're going in order of size. Boop, boop, boop. God, I love it. How is it that such a tiny thing, organizing what are clearly fictional pieces of paper that do not even exist, makes me feel like a god. The power rushing through my veins right now. This game is fantastic. I love it. Alright, we have some books. There's like thinness to them thick thighs we could go for. There's also tall to short. And this might be one of those that has multiple solutions. Let's do tall to short as a beginning step and see where it gets us. Boop, boop. No, boop. Sometimes the way that you're holding items does nothing to help you. So there's 2 stars now, which means 2 potential solutions are available. Let's now go thickness. Get up, get down with the thickness. As I believe the song goes. I don't think that's how the song goes. This one next? You think? You think maybe? Alright. Prepare your lips. We're gonna have to blow into all of these cartridges to dust them. So, yes, this was my question. The entire top stack is affected by the bottom, so let's go bottom to top. Wink. So as to head off any later issues. Little retro bloop. So satisfying. I love a satisfying retro bloop. That was generous. Thank you for giving me the top one as well. I don't know what I did to deserve that kind of treatment. Doodle-doodle-doodle. Beautiful. I love the variety of puzzles. Some of them I will get wildly stuck on, I assure you. But it's always like a little treat whenever a new level pops up to see what's the secret behind this one. So we have some stamps placed already. My first thought is that there's some sort of sequence, but then we don't have like a ladybug. We do have a ladybug. I was gonna say, I would think that like ladybug goose is one sequence of letters. Then we got like key, Santa key, Santa. Kiki Santa, Kiki Santa. And then, where's this one starting, do you suppose? We putting a shell here? Or we just putting shell pawn at the end? Let's try that. No, you let go of my letter, kitty. That's a bad kitty. I'm kidding, of course. You're a good kitty, and I love you. I got it just in time, before Kitty has stolen my mail. Oh God, I've dismembered the cat. I'm sorry. It's a crab claw instead of, like, Santa? Was I seeing that completely wrong? That would be hilarious. Let's go back. We gotta go back. I also love this menu. The way that you can see everything in one go. And it pops open your progress to give you one extra hint of serotonin. This would be... It is indeed a crab claw. I see that now. I was wondering why Santa was doing like a lawyer commercial for personal injury lawsuits. Arr, my hips. I see now, and thank you for setting me straight. It's hilarious what the mind does. What the lack of mind does. Alright, Post-its number 2. This one with a little less, environmental information. Let's find the grid. Seems to be dead center. Alrighty. I don't know if that's where that should go, but I'm assuming since it's a roughly side piece. I'm gonna say maybe this one here, maybe this one here. This looks like a bottom piece. This has gotta be like in the middle somewhere. Maybe smack dab in the old middle. So, swapping this one out for here. Looks a little better. Something's wrong there. This does look like that side. Probably just need to swap these. There we are. Lovely. It's a little kidney bean that's waving. Hello! Put me in your chili! If you'd like to. It's not mandatory. Like a little protein. In your chili. Alright. We have tax, and we have what appear to be blank spaces of a various number. The first thing I'm seeing is that there are like 3 red thumbtacks, and that's exactly where that should go. Yes, we're keeping it. So let's try 3 here. Boop, boop, boop. A little hard to tell where the tack is going to end up at the end of all things. Alright, so there's like only 1 yellow. Doink, doink. There's 2 orange. / coral. Not sure what we're calling these. A muted orange / coral. 4 black ones. My personal favorite. Stealthy thumbtacks. Are they still thumbtacks if they've got the little handle on them, or are they push pins? I've never been sure. It is a lot more fun to say, hey, hand me those push pins. Thumbtacks sounds very harsh. Like it has a Germanic root. Donk. Salmon. That could be it. A lovely salmon. I like it. And hello. You saw Santa showing his behind coyly. The boudoir photo session of Santa. That's also a strong contender. I seem to remember from my initial playthrough, all was well until I got to this one, and then I was a little bit confused. So, like, obviously we have some sort of set pattern between the number of days that stickers show up. The only thing we can really go off of is that there's, like, these curly cues, and then there's little colored dots, as though to say, every other week, something's different about the curly cues. So we could say that it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days between curly cues. And the next one should be salmon. And then another 8 days and a curly cue gray. Is a strong bet. But it also might be like the specific day that it is. Like only Sundays and Tuesdays. But I'm gonna try 8 days between and see where that gets us. I've torn my pants. I'm sorry. Please look away. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 19th. We got another curly cue. And it should be salmon colored. If it's alternating. Which we can't really know for sure. Boop. That's nice. That's covering up a little bit too much of it, but it's fine. So there was a chime, as though to reward me. It's like a reward. 28th would be the next one. And that would be gray. The chimes so far are steering me straight, but let's make sure it doesn't just put a chime on anything, any old thing you do. Yeah, good. Oh. Well, would you look at that? Maybe it does put a chime on any old thing you do. Okay, 26th. Must be right then. Okay, so we have one more of these. Again, it's like 8 days between them, but then why would I not have one additional flower sticker? But let's see if it chimes at 8. That would be 8 exactly. 22nd. Ding! Very light, as though to say, alright. Okay, we'll give it to you, but we feel like you're just sort of brute forcing it. Which, to be honest, is fair. How about stars? What do we got here in terms of stars? Everything seems to have 8 between, and maybe it's just that simple. I love that little sticker sound. So satisfied. Here's a problem. 8 would be the 28th, would it? Or would it be the 29th? Would not be. How dare you suggest such a thing? So there might be something slightly different about the pattern for that. Or I could just be very bad at counting. So, what about this one? We placed that one sort of accidentally. There's one more up here. 17th. Alright. This one doesn't have any other friend to show us the order, but assuming it's the same as all the rest, it would be 14th. 15th. So bad at counting. I am no Sesame Street Muppet. That's for damn sure. It's more proof. My potty language is more proof that I am no Sesame Street Muppet. Alright. 14th. There we go. Doink. So with a spacing of 8, we've brute forced our way through. Oddly, you found the calendars to be easy. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I don't know why the flurry of numbers and colors puts me in a mental tizzy. But we made it. We made it through together. Saucy Santa is way better than a crab claw. It depends on how hungry you are, I guess. Alright, so the way this is framed gives me the impression of certain symmetry. There are like 2 of each size, which makes me think that we should go like tall to small in a mirrored convention, or a mirrored fashion. Get out of here, you. You get over there where you belong. Far be it from me to tell you where you belong. So that is the same size. And so is this. Indicating I've made an oopsie. Doink. Oh, that's lovely. And then we have a second one, which I'm assuming is because this is very unsatisfying. The way that this is now framed. What would be the end pieces? Perhaps these. Do retry. Do retry. There we go. So these look like ends. Let's try to make a swirly sort of floral octopus of ourselves. That seems to make sense. That's not quite right. And I'm not sure which one would be. This looks like a dead centerpiece, in my estimation. No? I said, no. Not quite sure on that one. It has to be something that has a little nobule towards the top. Potentially like this. Potentially that sort of little nobule. So what's my twin? There we go. There's my twin. This one has 2 fairly widespread prongs. Looks to be right. And then it goes to a thick bottom. A nice thick bottom on it. Maybe not quite that thick. Too much bottom on it. Here? That looks good. But it could be one of those, like, you know, puzzle pieces that you place down and you're like, yeah, that looks good. And then later you find out, what have you done? Alright. Gorgeous! I love this. It also has a certain pleasantness on the flow of the top book sizes. I like it. Alright, what do we have next? Pictures that are all straight, and yet the content of them, the horizons, are all a wonk. And these San Francisco real estate prices, I tell you. I love that. That makes me happy. Like, yeah, it's not always just about keeping things straight and tidy. Sometimes in the game and in life, it's more complicated than that. And you have to figure out what the llama wants exactly. Or was that a slightly chunky deer? Far be it from me to shame the deer. You're gorgeous at any size. But I don't know how to describe you other than a slightly chonky deer. Alright, this one has a lot going on. This feels like a butt. Feels like a butt to me, if you'll pardon my gropings. Alright, the grid is potentially 5. Which does not feel like there are enough pieces to fill in completely. So some of them may be like blanks / decoys of a sort. This looks like it goes together. I'll keep that at the bottom. What about this as a potential? That chimed nicely. So let's move these over. find where these might end up. Gotcha. That chime is ever so helpful. Nope. Not even close. How about you? Yeah. Second line doesn't go all the way up, but it needs something over there. Maybe that one? Alright, that doesn't have anything at the bottom, so it needs to be clear on, like, the bottom and the left side. I get so confused on my directions. So maybe that's a blank space. I don't think we have one that's completely blank on both the bottom and left. Unless my eyes are deceiving me. So let's try to work from this line over. Maybe here. Then maybe here. Nice. Alright, this needs a thing going down. Get out of my spot, yo. You move. Uh-huh. And... ha-ha! Glorious. I love the little reward you get to give yourself. I've said this before. I'll keep saying it. Okay. These ones seem to have a pattern in the sharpness of the pencils themselves, as well as maybe just a simple color gradient. Though it's not a complete color gradient by any means, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll start over here. Find the end of it. Ooh, 3 different solutions for this one. Ah, I see the eraser size is also different and potentially impactful. Do restart. I keep thinking I can start moving them again immediately. But no. But no. Let's do eraser size next. Though it's hardly an indicator of character. One's eraser size. And then we've got tips. Naught but tips. But tips? What? One's pretty pointy. We'll go here. Here. Red boy. Beautiful. 3 stars. Just like my restaurant. I don't have a restaurant. I'm not sure why I said that. Alright, this looks similar to the stack one. Stackables. But this does not really... There's no, like, grid to snap to. And they do not seem to be the same sizes. So maybe this is more of an arrangement situation? Does feel like when you pick up an item, it automatically goes to the orientation it should be. Which is quite helpful. So we just gotta find where something fits. And then we can figure out the rest from there. Is there anything that has like a slanted corner? Kind of? Sure. Down below. It's a little off screen for me. Here we are. Alright, this is a very obvious size. That looks good there. Let's move our stamps up. Oh, yes, that one is set. As it slowly comes together, it gets just more and more exciting. Like, oh yeah, fits perfectly together. Kitty! No, yeah, Kitty! I worked so hard You've spoiled it. But that's okay. I still love you. Nothing but tips. That's my name. Don't wear it out. Alright, we have more books, but they're all the same size. They're not all the same thickness. It could be thin to thick again. Though there's also a certain through line of, like, bands on each of them. Like, this one's at the very bottom. That one seems more complicated. Let's go there first. I think we're somewhat nearing the point where I don't know if I got here yet. Which is good. Some of them I have foreknowledge of, but I'd like to be as confused and shivery as a newborn fawn. As much as is possible. Alright, that's at the very top. I'm not seeing any others there. Let's move some of these very tall ones down. This will be somewhere near the middle. I guess the band is just the middling point of that one. This one should be at the very end. There you are. You're who I've been missing on these cold and lonely nights. Kinda, sorta. Doop 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 doop. Okay, something else about this one. Thickness? Let's try. And there also could be like a color gradient going on. I did not check how many stars there were. We'll see this time. But assuming at least a thickness is at play. Those are very close to one another, but I'm gonna try there. Alright, this one's definitely on the very end. This one is its buddy friend. Very similar in size to you. That is rough. But we'll see how it goes. This one seems slightly thinner. Almost exactly the same size. To the point that makes me wonder if this isn't all a misnomer or a red herring, as 'twere. It's like these ones seem incredibly close. But I would say this one is slightly thinner. Same story here. Wish it would let me hold them over one another for just a moment. Just a moment of intimacy with each other would be grand. These are tricky. Those seem exactly the same size, roughly, and also same story here. Just exactly the same size. So how many stars do we actually have? Gotta catch up. Cat is the final boss. Feels like it. Okay, still one to go here. We could try it as a color gradient instead of a matter of thickness, because they do seem like incredibly similar. I am noticing that there's like, these seem to be inverse of one another, so maybe it's like a traveling situation. Like this has a lot of light blue going into a very little amount of light blue and some dark. This one I'm not sure about. Then it would be traveling into... I'm not Not sure how the blue would be traveling into green and into red simultaneously. There's definitely something there, though. This makes a certain amount of sense. So it must be a matter of where do I start? And I don't know. Huh. I kind of feel like this makes sense as a starting point, though I could not tell you why. So let's see if we, in our minds, separate the very dark color bleeding into this red and the dark blue as, like, not necessarily connected, which may be a huge mistake. Let's just see what happens. So this would be very red with a little bit of orange, then going into very orange with a little bit of red, going into straight orange, going into mostly orange, just a tickle, yellow with a little bit of green, mostly green, mostly green with a little blue. Ha ha ha! Lovely. That is so satisfying. I don't recall having figured out that solution last time, so we're either at the point where I stopped, or I just didn't do the second star of that one and moved on regardless. Alright, we have more pencils. Again, there seems to be a bit of a difference in the sharpness of them. There's also a big size difference. Let's keep it simple right off the bat and do tallest to shortest to get it out of the way. Oh, you're a very, very big boy. Look at you. We're all impressed. Now stop showing off. The, like, symbols along the bottom of them also make me wonder. The erasers seem to be the same size in this set. So maybe there's a tallest to shortest, a sharpness gradient, and like a symbology to them? Some way, somehow? I'm trying to figure out what the sequence of those symbols would be. This does not seem to be a thing, though. Ah, I see. Cluttered. Unnecessary shavings must go. I agree. Kitty! I need to know what the name of the cat is so that I can scold it appropriately. Right now, I'm just gonna keep calling it Kitty. Okay, so only 2. Does that mean there isn't a symbology, or there isn't a sharpness? Let's try sharpness next, as I'm slightly scared of the other option. Get rid of these. I care not about the size, only the pointiness. Yeah, a lot of these are like the exact same amount of pointiness. It'd be a little hard to distinguish between them. But let's try anyway. You get in your there. No, you get in there. Stop being weird. Okay. Huh. These ones are cooperating. Maybe that just means it's not what they're asking. This one definitely seems either the sharpest or second sharpest. And then it gets a little watery. And were there only 2 stars on this one? So it's like, obviously we got a loop, we got 2 loops, 3 loops, and then the straight one line to a scissors situation. If there was like a numerology, not numerology, but sequentialness to them, I would say the regular dash should be first, in any order. That seems like the simplest, and therefore 1, effectively. So maybe if we just swap these? But they could be more complicated, like curves amidst the straight lines. It's weird how sometimes they don't snap, which I kind of assume means you're totally wrong. But it does snap over there, and it did snap with like all of these. I don't know if that's leading me astray or not. Maybe it then has to be other way round? Like from the 3 curls to the 3 straight lines and down? It doesn't like it that way. It's weird that it snaps in straight, in this order, as though to taunt me. And it's also weird that that does not seem to be the starting point. Does any other pencil except for this one snap to that position? Yep. Which is only confusing me more. Huh. So apparently that has nothing to do with it, but it feels like it does have to snap in order for it to be the correct order. I can't think of a world where this isn't the simplest shape and therefore first. But apparently we are living in that world. That is the reality. Hello, hello. Nice to see you there. You suggest Mr. Mittens for the cat name. Oh, Mr. Mittens! It's good. It feels good in the lips. Okay. What am I missing? I'm sure you're not missing it. You genius you. What am I failing to see? This works, which makes me happy. And this works, but all 3 of them do. Maybe therefore we do our what's the word? Asymmetry thing this way? Doodle-doodle-doodle-doop. Mr. Mittens!
Oh, what?
Oh, that was lovely. And, excuse me. Okay, sorry for the delay. I'm not entirely sure that makes sense to me yet, but they don't all have to make sense to me. That's okay. I've got a skipping record.
Oh, what?
Lovely. I can't affect the record.
Oh, what? Oh, what?
Skipping. I like that.
Oh, what?
Can I affect the knobs? Mm-hmm. Yay! That's playing at the correct tempo. What a soothing, both art style and audio style they've gone with. Aha! Chapter 2. We've burst into the kitchen. You stay out of here, Mr. Mittens. I'm kidding. You can come in. Alright, we have tomatoes. What I would do if this were my kitchen cabinet. Boop, boop, boop. Aha, but there is another solution. The butts? The butts of all of them? Let me see that ass. I don't think it's going to be that simple, but they each do have, like, the green symbol on the front, the orange symbol on the back. Maybe that's the extent of it? No. Does it want to see, like the whole can in one unrolled label? This goes pretty far off to there-ish? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if that's what it wants to see. Where would be like a starting point left to right? I would say that looks cleanest. And then cut it off there. And just a little tickle of that. Apparently not what it wants. Does it want to see the backside? The one on the left was not perfectly centered when you did all the backs. Those were their little tushies. And I'd thank you to get the terminology right. Absolutely. Let me try again. Get it as centered as possible. Boop. Okay, what if it's just... straight instead of trying to go left to right? It's just... show me as much of the front as you can. Okay. I was expecting to have to move that one, but hooray! That is what it wanted. Genuinely don't see how that's functionally different from what we tried before, but it's fine. I'm sure I was doing it wrong. We're moving on now. Never to think of it again. Ooh, this looks fun. So there's obviously another one of those colors intermixed. Possibly also size of the jars. Let's go size of jars first. Pretty great movie with Clive Owen, if you haven't seen it. No, I'm thinking of The Children of Men. Sorry. I got confused. 3 of them in this one, okay. I'm not sure what the third one would be, but let's not worry about it. There doesn't seem to be a way to go from dark to dark, so let's assume dark is the starting point. The dark beans, we call them. So from there... I guess this seems the most pure green. Then is this next? Because this has a lot of yellow. A surprising amount. And this has so much yellow, it's ludicrous. Do you want the other order? Yellow to green? They did indeed. Okay, one more. What else is different? The size not of the jars, but of the contents of the jars, perhaps. Do restart. I'm gonna keep doing that every time. I just feel like I can immediately retry the puzzle now without hitting the button. Alright, contents of the jars. Gorgeous. Mr. Tushy. For the cat's name. I like that too. There's a certain sternness to the word mittens that, Mr. Tushy does not seem to have. I think mittens is still a top contender. Okay, are we doing Big Spoon? Who wants to be Big Spoon? I'm not. I'm not gonna be. Somebody else has to take that. I want to be Lil Spoon. These are such great sound effects. Just the sound effects alone are Oscar-worthy. But that's why I'm not in charge of giving out the awards. Alright, there's another way to look at this. It seems much too simple to just swap and go little to big. They all seem like, as spoons do... Yes, as spoons do, they should fit inside one another. Except for this one, which its seashell edges are ruining the flow of it for me. But it's fine. I'll get over it. I love the way that ends up like a gorgeous modern art piece. Very soothing, muted colors. I'm just pretending to be Jake Gyllenhaal from Velvet Buzzsaw now, if it was unclear. Alright, cracks are very obvious. Let's try lining cracks up first. That sound is giving me anxiety. That is not a soothing sound. I feel like I'm about to shatter all of the bowls with my beefy gorilla hands. Good. It's so scratchy as to make me deeply upset. We got the cracks. Okay, there's one more. Probably the yellow squigglies. And I'm assuming for those we want none of the cracks visible. Cover your cracks. It's not too much trouble. I'm just gonna assume the bottom one is in the correct position. Though that may turn out to be quite false indeed. No. If we're trying to hide the cracks, the bottom one is definitely not in the right position. Let's try here. See if we have 3 loops. 3 loops in the offing. I kind of think those might be the ticket, but then that gives you very little contextual information along the top, so probably not. And maybe I should be doing this from, like, top to bottom anyway, because this is gonna mess me up, that they all move at once. So, top to bottom. Got a lot of options. There are 3 loops here. I'm guessing, I don't know why, but it feels like the cracks should be hidden. So let's find anywhere that it lines up, and then it should line up regardless. This might be... Go up! Go up and grab that bowl. That might be correct? Yeah. A little to the left. I see. I see what they did. Alright, now I just need to find where these line up. Just making it a little more complicated than it had to be. This one is tricky, though. It's like an invisible connection point. There it is. Huh? Nope. Definitely not. Weird. Let's find another place to work off of where we can be confident that it overlaps. Like here, we can be confident that it overlaps. Cracks did not matter at all. Good. Alright. And we're off. The colors here are so nice. Is this a... Yes, only horizontal, so each row is its own thing. Do we start dark or do we start orange? Start dark. See where that gets us. Seems to be a color gradient, and then also maybe lining up the dunes, as 'twere. Go color gradient first. Good, good. Should only be the dunes. So that, finding where this starts is going to be an interesting conundrum. There has to be a place where it cannot connect to any of the others. Which seems like here. But then it gets a little tricky. That all looks good. There we are. Alright, same story here. Does this one connect to any other point? No? Probably our starting position then. That's not quite right. Do stay. Do stay where I put you. Or I will paddle you tookus. I don't believe in that sort of thing unless you ask very nicely. Alright, here we go. There's a sort of checkerboard pattern to the eggs, which makes me think it should continue below. No, don't do that. And that's all there is to it. Okay. I was expecting there to be a secondary solution. But I'm not sure what it would have been. What it would have. Alright, we have bag clips. This one I do remember. So I at least got this far in it. My initial playthrough. I'm trying to find in my mental map where I stopped playing last time. Get rid of all these nasty little crumbs. Alright, so we have a potential biggest to smallest. We also have all these different sized notches in them, which I wonder if that lines up. But let's do biggest to smallest first. There isn't a side-to-side grid, so maybe these stack atop one another. Or maybe that's incredibly foolish. Okay. That one is correct, and you will not let me move it again. So maybe we just have to go right into the notches? I feel like that's the only one high enough for this, but maybe this one works. Super well. Like a glove it does. Alright, that one needs just a little, how do I say this? Notch on the bottom? But like the reverse of what yellow is doing. The exact reverse of that. It must be its, I want to say it must be its blue friend, but then that has like a notch up here that would be completely pointless if that was the case. I wanted to commend Peter for having unbelievable range when it comes to games. Going from heart-wrenching, very gruesome ones to these lovely, cozy ones. There's a wide variety of games in the world, and I am a lover of so many of those varieties. It would be a pity to miss out. Okay, this obviously fits so very well. I almost feel like I'm missing something when it comes to the other ones. Like maybe that just doesn't have a friend is what I'm missing. This one needs what appears to be this to hold its sexy little hand. This could be this guy, or it could be yellow. Probably yellow. Aww, they're friends. And then it gets a little tricky. Oh, that works so well. How did we not... How did we not try that one earlier? Never mind. Mmm, look at that. Look how well that... Mmm. That feels good. Lovely little bag clips holding hands. Why do you have 2 stickers? What's going on with your 2 stickers? What I would do, had I purchased the fruit, is immediately rip all of the stickers off and pretend that they never existed in the first place. I can rotate the fruits. All of the stickers seem to be the same color. Ah, no, this one is orange. Why are you orange? You get over there. Then all of these... Ah. Do those not matter? Okay. Ah, you were hiding! Get over here. Get on your buddy. Alright, you don't matter. I'm sorry, stickers, that sounds very harsh, but you don't. Get into my garbage. And both the apple and the pear have stems, which very gracefully lean to the right-hand side, but the orange is alone and shivering naked in a hospital gown, stemless, and deeply depressed, if I can be honest with you. So maybe stems are completely unrelated, but it is a lovely sort of coincidence we've made for ourselves. I think the pear is bare, and here is its little friend. Boop. This looks like the definite butt of the apple. And drink it in. I mean, I'm not going to tell anyone. No, sticker stays. Just move the apple. There you go. There you go, my sweet. Does it need to be a specific side? A specific side of the fruit showing. Your lack of stem condemns us all. Is there another sticker I missed? Somewhere? Hiding? There sure is. Maybe more than one. Pear. You with your filthy secrets. Ah, there's another solution for it. If the sticker is the color of one of the fruits, it can still be discarded. So let's say no stickers. A completely free fruit experience. Just as naked as the day they were born. Everything hanging out. If Patrick Stewart were here, he would say, "But I've seen it all." Only he'd say it, you know, like, it would sound like him saying it, instead of what I just did. Which I don't know who that was. I've seen it all. Sort of a vaguely Sean Connery. But the early years. Perfect. The nudity of fruit on full display. Enjoy. And the apple clearly showing butt. Butt tips. Now get out of here, fruit. You're getting us all hot and bothered. Oh, this is fun. This is fun and good. I like it. Okay, obviously there's a thickness to thinness ratio which might be at play. There's also like a number of curves and twists. Let's see where the grid might be. Okay. Due to the fact that these seem to kind of like slowly curve more, I'm gonna just work off of that and see where this gets us. And it's very, oh, so curved, and then, oh my god, are you okay? Do you need a doctor kind of curved? But then what do you want me to do with these? I guess they are quite straight. But they're all kind of the same amount of straight. which is confusing. This seems right in terms of progression, but then does it, like, invert itself into these? And these are just going by size, not by any sort of twistiness, which I should fix. But that is correct. Mr. Mittens! And that's the only solution. Alright, I'll take it. This is my culture. This pasta. I love it. Alright, we have touristy sea town drinking glasses that you might find in any boardwalk gift shop. There's a ghost of a fisherman behind this. I want to say bauble, but I know that's not right. It does bob, but what's it called? Is it a bob? I don't go fishing. I don't know. I also don't tolerate seabirds in my presence. So this is not my culture. I don't know. What do we have here? The fact that it's, like, visible on both sides makes me feel like something needs to be lined up. Both in the facade of the back and the foreground. I'm not seeing any clear overlaps, except for that bird, the bird and chimney combo. Overlap? Though it's very subtle, as to almost be a coincidence. But I got a ding out of it. So do any of these birds. Boop. Kind of. And then we got fishes. Vicious little fishes. I'm sure they're all quite nice, actually. Assuming it is a fish, but maybe I need to be looking at the boat or the birds. And not limiting myself. Because none of the fish are necessarily lining up to me. To mine eyes. I guess the fisherman kinda does. That's a bit of a stretch. But the fisherman does kinda line up. Huh. Subtle. That one should probably have stumped me more than it did. I think we got incredibly lucky with that bird. Right off the bat. Otherwise, I would have been here rotating those glasses for ages. Make your mother proud. Ta-da! Mr. Mittens, no! Oh, okay. Mr. Mittens. You're making your mother... Stop! You're making my mother sad. And I guess that's something that we share, but... You're not gonna succeed in making me mad at you, Mr. Mittens. I love you too much. I just gotta get it before Mr. Mittens comes in and ruins everything. Never been this stressed. Which is my massive privilege showing, if you'll pardon me. Not sure if this stream is rated mature enough for that. Oh, this looks like fun. We got a little breakfast tray. And it's got a central square, and the only thing that instantly seems to make sense to me is, like, triangle to triangle berries. And they're auto-orienting themselves for the corners. I like that. There is, like, a blueberry dot in each, which would also give us room for orange slices. Personal favorite of Mr. Paul Rudd. Especially when he's had a hard day. And the toast would fit into the square. And just a nice runny egg atop. Mmm. Gorgeous. That's my favorite one so far. That not only satisfies the symmetry I crave, but it also makes me quite hungry for breakfast food. And I'm gonna go. Thank you for hanging out. I'm gonna go find some eggs and toast. Okay, we got stackers. Try to make a smart move so that we don't get colors lost beneath each other like is happening right now. The colors are lost beneath each other. Put that there, put this here, put you here, and ba-bam! I didn't play the Island of Dr. Brain for nothing. I kind of missed if there was only the 1 star in that one. Let me check our level list. We gotta catch up anyway, because we've done so many, and it's gonna take ages. Is the cat going to steal the egg? It's gonna get his little paw all runny with yolk. You can't do that, Mr. Mittens. Yes, there is only 1 star. And yet, welcome back! We've begun it anew. Get me back to levels, you selfish. Okay, I'm assuming if we've unlocked it and have not gotten all the stars, it is not golden. So we're so far so good. Nothing to go back and check again. Give me 1 moment here. I'll be right back with you. And thank you for your patience. I love you. Goodbye. Oh, hey. Welcome back. Do pardon. Okay, we are on to whatever this is. Some sort of touristy lighthouse portrait. Oh, this is nice. Color of the magnets does not necessarily seem to be a thing. There are, like, colors within each postcard that match well, but it doesn't seem to be a gradient thing. Doesn't seem to be like green to salmon. What am I looking at here? Some of them do match quite well, like these 3, and then there's like a touch of green in this one. That almost seems like it would fit best. Huh. This must be a matter of positioning. Like this has green along the bottom and green there, which fits pretty well. This has like a little river that goes off of it. which fits pretty well. I need to find where one of them goes to start properly placing. The rivers almost seem to be the key to the whole thing. Like this. This would seem to go at the end of that. And then bleeding into... I wanted to say this one, but that's way too tall. I don't think we'd want to cover up that much of a postcard. This one obviously goes on the end of here, would be my thought. Because it's the only one of that perfect thickness. So let's move all of these over. Keep these guys at the bottom. You go in the top corner. You go here. That's like not quite a match, though. But I'm not sure what else could possibly fit there. It's just a little bit off. So I'm not entirely sure about that one, but this seems good. Salmon to salmon. Dust to dust. However, the same could be said of this, couldn't it? Salmon to salmon, and then the river is a more appropriate size. Yeah, there's even like that little hint of cloud in there. That looks good. Then does that mean this matches? Maybe, possibly. Got this up here. That's the only one I'm confident in. Full water on all sides. Kind of looks like there, and then clouds to clouds. So we need to move the whole thing down just a little bit. Okay. Okay, fine. I'm still not entirely sold on that connection. It's a little off. But it's close enough for government work. Whatever that means. I've never worked for the government, so don't listen to me. It sounds like exactly what someone who worked for the government would say. That feels right. Did I give this enough room? Yes. Though not quite. I squished it in the top, but it gave it to me anyway, which is very generous. Okay. We're moving on. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This has been such a lovely time. Alright, we are keeping the refrigerator door open for much longer than is necessary. We've got puddings and various, I'm assuming this is mirepoix in here. I can't turn them, so what we see is what we get. These go together quite well. So well, in fact. But I'm assuming I can't, like, take this off to another item, so it's stuck on top of this jar. Therefore, maybe we want it far enough over that this leans in well, or lines up well. Something like that. Where in the lineup should that be, though? I'm not seeing anywhere that this particularly fits in. Maybe there, but even that is a little bit of a stretch. So that one's confusing me slightly. Do we have any more hiding? Trying to think if there's any other, like, these are obviously a very clear connection between the black and red. I'm not seeing anything else that's that obvious. Maybe these labels. Yeah, that's a pretty good connection. But then how would this one fit into it? It needs to be... I guess it could be either side, so we can move this here. potentially. Probably needs to be further over than that, but I'm not sure if, like, the milk carton should be all the way on this side. I'm not seeing any gray sections that... Ah, that seems pretty close. Maybe these are cluttered much more than I think they are. I don't know about, like, the white of this lid is strange to me. I'm not seeing any real connection point for it. I can just hide it amidst the yellow, but that doesn't seem right. And again, I'm not seeing any other gray sections that might work well with that. Feels like there's some aspect of this I am failing to see. But it's also like one of the most fascinating ones. It doesn't really do anything for me. This seems like it has to be correct, because the white blends so well together. The gray seems to make sense. These are obviously connected due to the size of that square. So it's like all of that is done and fine. How would this fit into it? In any way that makes sense. Doesn't really line up with this one either. I mean, that's not bad. The yellow to slightly darker yellow, but it's also not quite the same color. It feels like this is roughly the same gradient. But then we're just stacking everything everything together in a total mess that doesn't really seem to be a thing. Huh. Okay, I'm missing like an order that these go in. Let's back it up just a touch. I like what we've done with this, but it's obviously not quite right. I also don't think like the squiggles necessarily mean anything to each other emotionally. I wonder if there's just like a through line of white that I can create. Because that seems to be something that they all share. Did that just snap? Kind of felt like it. Huh. I feel like one of them secretly turns or something. Is like the piece we're missing. But I don't think one of them secretly turns. I kind of like lining these up gray to gray, but at the same time it makes so much sense to just have it overlap entirely. Because then it makes it like effectively invisible. So that feels more correct to me than, like, this would. I feel like there must be a way to arrange that makes more sense, but it's not as if I can remove these from one another. I can't stack anything on anything else. And this little jar of mustard or honey, though it has a very happy little face. is driving me insane because it doesn't really fit anywhere with any of them with a great degree of certainty. This would be the closest. It's the closest it seems to fit with anything. But none of the rest of them are snapping in any clear way. If I was gonna fit that into it, it would ruin all the symmetry we've created with the jar of mayonnaise. That snapped together quite well, but why? Maybe it's not based on color at all? I don't know why that's correct. I mean, like, obviously we still get our rectangle, but then why would this gray square... I mean, I'll take it, and I'm happy, but that doesn't make... I'm not happy. I'll take it, but I'm not happy. I don't know why that makes sense. Only this makes any sense to me, and maybe the squareness of these. So perhaps this is not from my brain. And that's okay. Like, these lines here lead into each other, that's great. This line of mayonnaise kind of swoops up. We got the squareness going on there. This label is the same size as that, and then the level of this gray stuff is the same as the level of the yellow stuff, but it's like there must have been a better connector between those. But I digress. Whippy! Whippy? That's not something people say. Whoopee is also not something I should be saying, so... Oh, Mr. Buttons, what have you done? Is this like in order of catastrophe? This feels like a catastrophe in the making. So, like, you're looking at a thing, you're then pushing the thing. The thing is falling. The thing is falling so close to the ground as to give me anxiety. And then look what you did, Mr. Buttons. You know, that one makes sense to me. I like it. Look what you did, Mr. Tushy. Chapter 3. The nitty-gritty. I hope it's not going to be gritty. I have probably about another roughly 15 minutes. Let's see how far we can get. And then I will 100% pick this up again tomorrow with glee in my heart. This is such a soothing transition into the inevitable Elden Ring. Alright, we have cleaning products that have an obvious sort of shape to them. That looks good with the thingies. Something that slants this away from the bucket. No. It's too wide of a top. It's too topping wide, which might mean it's like the end piece, the bucket at the end, if there's nothing that goes on that side of it necessarily. Because none of these seem to fit great. We also have a bit of a sponge curveball going on. It seems to not be in line with anything. We must find our own spot for it. This fits together so well. I'm guessing it's like a must-have. It also fits pretty well with that one next to it. So let's assume that there's another shape. Put this at the very end. We'll assume that there's another shape on this side of it. Which appears to be that. Need a little higher... perhaps here. Doink. I like that. Let's try switching these. Nice. I'm not sure that's how gravity works, but I will 100% take it. It's a lovely lineup. Does it have like a color gradient or anything? That would play bally hell with the shapes. I'm gonna assume we're fine. We're moving on. But I will check the levels, because I keep getting distracted and fail to see. Ooh. Speaking of getting distracted, this one looks fun. I'm getting distracted and failing to see the number of stars at the end of each level. But I think we're good. Yes. Alright, on to batteries. We have a lovely tray. Obviously, smaller batteries must go in the smaller slots. Are there only 2 of these? And the shape of them seems to line up. That might be important. These ones go up and down. Assuming we want them in here. Sort of steep curve to that one. Maybe? Maybe that way? These ones go flat on their side. Perfect. Sort of lightning bolt situation happening. Perfect. Alright, and we just have the little ones. Looks like they're sort of slowly filling with gray. And these must be to the side. Alright, what's not correct? There we are. A little shift in the swoop, and we're on. That was catastrophic. Ooh, these are pretty. Are they like buttons, or are they cookies? Mahjong tiles? My personal favorite being the White Lotus style. What? Alright, so there is a sort of like a gradient towards yellow, but it's not distinct enough between the white and the wooden pieces for that to be a thing. Biggest to smallest is a safe bet. Do they also... They seem to click into each other, so let's try biggest to smallest in a line. There also could be a number of sides at play. These are not circular enough to be completely unnoticeable. Alright, biggest to smallest. 2 more. Let's do number of sides next, but are we going from biggest to smallest again? This seems to have the most sides. Sorry, I'll restart. So many sides, maybe slightly less. Little chonkier still. Doop, 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 doop. Alright, what would be the third one? We got biggest to smallest, we got number of sides. I'm not seeing anything necessarily special about the patterns on each. They cannot overlap to fit into each other. That would be an ideal final step. Oh, they can if you've already locked it in place. Okay. This is satisfying. This is what I wanted to do right off the bat. Just fit them gently into one another. Like a gorgeous little tower of tiles. Why does that make me hungry? It's like a fine pastry on a balmy afternoon at tea time. We're moving on. I'm going to stop picturing tea cakes now. I lied. Junk drawer. Or utensil drawer. As the case may be. Alright, so we got some, like, weird stuff in here. Weird stuff. This kind of looks like that. But is it too obvious? Is it screaming for attention? This is a nice thick boy over here. Not entirely sure if that fits. But when you place it, it seems to fit a lot better. This must go up here. But does it have a friend? Like if you put this in here, this could just as easily... Unless it doesn't turn over. But it could, if you turned it over, just as easily go up there. So maybe there's another similar shape. This kind of has to go down there. We got long... That wants to be... Ah, I see it. There we are. It's like, what could possibly be that long? I don't think I even saw that slot to begin with. That must be good. Small spoons, perhaps? And then big spoons, perhaps? Again, who's got dibs? The harsh, sharp corners of small forks must be in there. Same story here. Who's got big fork? And then seems like a very, very stingy size for knives, but we'll take it. Spoon to spoon. Fix this one just a touch. And then we've got maybe whisk and measuring spoons, which snap together oh so satisfyingly. Oh, that's good stuff. Ah, the cleanliness I feel in my brain right now. Playing this game has single-handedly gotten rid of all of my dirty thoughts. Or has it? We're moving on regardless. Alright, we have a packing crate filled with delicious peanuts and many different sized bulbs that must be arranged thusly. Kind of like this one. No, I don't. Alright, let's pick something that has a weirder shape, like this. It's obviously there. This is a very wide top, which could be like here, but it feels like we need other things to fill in around it before we can be totally confident of that. But I'm fairly confident. This seems like there. We got a long boy. Need a spot for a perfectly normal bulb. There you go. Perfectly normal bulb, pardue. The return of perfectly normal bulb. Did I already try here? There it is. This guy's got a bit of a sexiness about him. Could be here. Alright, we got a very small one. There you go, buddy. Slightly larger. And eco. That is the only one. I was wondering if there was a difference between, like, the green bulbs. But those are just eco-friendly. It's fine. I didn't know if there was a second phase. It looks like packing peanuts. If you kind of squint, it's like, yeah, those are packing peanuts. Could be human intestines. I don't know. Now we have a proper junk drawer. And it is, already packed with stuff. Those don't go there. Three tacks? Maybe there's one hiding, but we have these three slots here. Seems like a sort of overkill to have one slot per tack, but it is nice and tidy. What about dice? There are more dice than 2 slots, so maybe they go in this long one or this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they could fit here. Let's try it. They're also in order, numerically, perhaps? That's a little tight. Maybe not there. I would say birthday candles could go here, but there are more of them and they're vastly different sizes, so there must be like a gradient of them in something like this. I don't think it's called a gradient if it's just size, but I keep using that word anyway. A size order to them. And some of them are so similar as to be effectively irrelevant, but we'll still try to poop them in their correct spots. 2 more over here. And some nice glasses. Get out of my way, glasses. Don't care how nice you are, I will shank you. Maybe? Seems a little disordered. It's fine. It's fine. Scissors, assuming up here. Got a nice whistle, which I'm not seeing any particular spot for. This is kind of obviously either tape or a tape measure. That fits well. And that's way too long, so yeah, okay. Not sure on that. Do I have a slot for just a pocket knife? Boop. Matches. There's something that there's just one of. That is long and thin. What, one Q-tip? Again, it seems like having a whole slot in your organizational drawer for one Q-tip makes you a total sociopath, but okay. We must have multiple paper clips. Do we have multiple pens that want to go that way? So maybe up here? My camera is hiding that slot from my eyes somewhat. Assuming we go there, what orientation do the crayons want to be? Could be that box. The batteries want to be straight up and down, seemingly. So maybe in here? This could be lock. Though it's not like picture perfect. I like that, but again, it seems slightly off. But I like it. Alright, here's where the measuring tape must go. That makes perfect sense. I'm not sure about paper clips yet. Let's try to organize them this way. We have buttons, too. Are there only 2 buttons? Maybe, possibly. Alright, what is that shape? Whistle? Whistle looks good. Glasses must be here, as we're running out of other slots. dry crayons down here. And I'm assuming we also want them in color order. To be tidy about it. Boodle-oodle-oodle-loop. A very long, pokey thing. What's that, like a seam ripper? Depends on how sharp it is. Might be a seam ripper. Maybe? I was kind of expecting the batteries to go there, but they wouldn't turn sideways, so maybe this is just paper clips. It does feel like dice. Ah, maybe USB drive here, and there are enough dice to have 2 rows? That might make more sense. The dice were confusing me, because we're running out of slots where those seem like they would fit. Alright, 4, 5... and 6. No 7. No 8. Magic. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, sadly, that is the last one I think I have time for. Right now, though I'm desperate to continue, let's go back to our level list and see where that puts us. We might be a little over halfway, but we have, I'm sure, the more difficult ones, and perhaps more iterations in each, awaiting us in the latter half. So, I will see you back here at Paint Buckets next time. I'm gonna get a sneaky little sneak peek. A peeky little sneak... Never mind. Thank you for your time. And thank you, Mr. Mittens, for reminding us that things are transient, even though we may think that we have control, and think that we've finally gotten everything just the way we want it. Mr. Mittens will always be there to knock it right back down to the floor, in a tumble. I will see you guys soonish, hopefully tomorrow. We will continue to enjoy our relaxing interlude here, and next weekend you will watch me... What just happened? You will watch me die, again and again, in a world of magic and butt stabbery, which I'm looking forward to. All of my love. I will see you soonish for the next installment. Mr. Mittens, behave yourself until then. Bye for a bit.